So I have a sheet for you that lists those 6 categories. I don't list competitors here, and I should probably change it from core business to competitors, but this just looks better. So I want you to go through when you have time, and we'll actually do this as an exercise in a minute, and actually write down either, and just to give you some ideas, you have the filled out one too. It might be, for media, it could be print publications, digital media, studios, it could be advertising companies. For resources, it could be affiliates, or you're buying it for a list of affiliates, a list of customers, even a list of SOPs. Like you're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get SOPs done in my business, standard operating procedures, right? But there's a company that probably already did it that's like yours, so just go buy that, okay? Or buy that asset from them. Or maybe like us, you wanted a dev team or an operations team. It is not at all unusual to buy another company just so you can get the management, okay? Then for services, what are the services? Financial, business, mailhouse, whatever they might be. What are the services in terms of categories? What are the products? That could be related products to you, upsells, downsells, cross-sells, anything that you might be able to sell your customers, or that they're already buying from someplace else that's related to what you do, or that they're just buying from someplace else, right? Any of those things would be products. Substitute products, complementary products. What are they buying instead? What's the decision they're making to buy when they decide not to buy your product? Just go buy that so you get both sales, right? And then supply and distribution, manufacturer, supplier, could be distribution, website, that kind of thing. So that's, and then, IP. IP is intellectual property, the standard intellectual properties like patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. Could be a customer list that you're buying it for. Could be an email list that you're buying it for. It could be a prospect list, a pixeled list, or software or a SaaS. And then going down even more granularly, let's look at traffic. So I think it's better to own, not rent your traffic whenever you can, because if you're renting traffic, you're paying rent on it constantly, whereas if you own it, you have it forever, right? And if you're renting it, you're always subject to the risk that somebody else is willing to pay more rent than you, and then you lose it. So it's better to just control it right from the start. So I call it $0 traffic, and this is going to include groups, social, SEO sites, other people's lists, other people's product listings, like on Amazon. Could be Etsy products, could be whole accounts, like an Alibaba account, and intellectual property and shows. And so breaking these down, what would be some types of groups that you might be able to buy? Facebook group, right? What else?
Email lists.
Email lists. Email lists would be on lists, just groups. Associations, right? Okay, cool. So meetup groups. Meetup groups are great. What if you just take over a meetup group? What if you take over 70 meetup groups? We have one of our War Room members, Dan Harford, who buys up real estate meetup groups. And he has raised money to buy, I think he's at about $700 million in real estate that he controls now. And it's all funded through people that invest through the meetup groups. Just buy meetup groups. Masterminds. What about masterminds? They're for sale. You can buy War Room. It's expensive, but you can buy it, right? But there's lots of little mastermind groups that have the kinds of people that you want. If they've got the eyeballs that you want, think about buying those. Networking groups, same thing. What about groups of people who are networking that are the people you're trying to reach? Slack groups. There are lots of paid Slack groups now where people actually pay every month to be a member. I'm a member of a few of them, right? And they've got thousands of members. What if you just go buy that, and now you've got access to those thousands of people? John?
What's a Slack group?
Slack is an app that allows you to chat, basically. So it's just a program like Messenger, only it's usually used inside a business, but a lot of people now use it to actually communicate with people that are outside the business, just as an interest group. And so you may think of more, but just any group. Who's got a group that they've put together? That's an aggregation of people around a common interest, okay? Buy those if they are the interest that you're trying to reach. Social siphon, so social things. This would be Facebook pages, LinkedIn groups probably should be over on the group grabs. Instagram accounts, YouTube channels, Pinterest accounts. You can buy other people's accounts on social that have already assembled large collections of people through pages or boards. Pinterest is tons of traffic. Don't forget those kinds of things. And then SEO is simply anything that is ranking on Google, right? Google, YouTube. Also, YouTube's the second largest search engine. I think Amazon is the third largest now. But blogs, vlogs, that's just a video log. Websites, just straight out websites, or even pages of websites that have lots of traffic. You can find out how much traffic they have. Just look at or links that they have. Look at SEO Frog, or I'm sorry.
Google Analytics.
Yeah, I start with like SimilarWeb or SEMrush, or why can't I think of the one that has all the links? I pay them every month. And then once you get that then you can drill down because you'll actually have to contact the people to get the Google Analytics. But then the Google Analytics is the verification phase.
What's the one you couldn't think of?
Yeah, that's the one.
Sounds like a good one.
That's good. Yeah. Damn it, I'll figure it out. All I have to do is look at my credit card statement. I get it. It's $179 a month. I know that. Ahref. Yeah, Ahref. Thank you.
What's it called?
Ahref.
Ahref?
Yeah. Ahref. Thank you. So websites, videos, images. So if you think about what these are the titles at the top across Google, right? So Google allows you to search by all, but it also allows you to search by videos, images, blogs, shopping, lists, right? So look at all of the things, tools, guides. Look at all of the things that SEO and all of the things that SEO categorically on Google, and if they have good traffic, if they're ranking at the top of Google, it might make sense to buy them because they might have good traffic. Now you can, as you mentioned, you can go to Google Analytics. Once you see that they're ranked up at the top, you can reach out to them and say, I'm interested in talking to you about, maybe advertising. That would be the first approach that I would do, as opposed to I want to buy your thing. Hey, I just talked about advertising, and then you get a conversation, and then you say, you ever thought of selling? Right? We find, it's relatively easy to buy sites in the $500 to $1,500, $2,500 range that are very valuable to you, but they're not producing that much income for other people. And because you can search by placement with AdSense, you can see who's running AdSense that you can place ads on their sites. You can use that as a way to identify those sites too. And then we use SimilarWeb as well. I didn't mention SimilarWeb because it's pretty pricey, but I think it's way worth it if you're doing anything that allows you to justify it. So those are a lot of things that you can look at just buying. And remember that there might be a tool that somebody's built that's getting a ton of traffic. A lot of people build tools as lead magnets. So if that lead magnet is more valuable to you than it is to them, that would be something to think about buying. And Chrome extensions. Thank you for mentioning that. I keep forgetting to put that on here.
I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah. So we actually had a guy in. Was he in the last group just yesterday or the day before, I think, who'd bought a Chrome extension. No, it was the one in Austin. Yeah, he bought a Chrome extension because it had a ton of the traffic that he wanted, and basically just stole it. It was amazing.
Somebody's created extension.
So Chrome is a browser, right? And there are extensions that you can do on it that are kind of like widgety type things. If you know what widgets are in WordPress, it does some service or some functionality. Like Ghostery is one of my favorite widgets because it tells you all of the tracking that's on a page when you come on. So it tells you every tracking pixel that's placed on a page, which then tells you where you might go to, So there are lots of people that do those things, and you can place. You can have a significant audience that gets built up if you acquire that. Thank you for mentioning that. I gotta write that down there. Lists also. Lists of customers, lists of affiliates, lists of developers or coders, lists of newsletter subscribers, opt-in lists, pixeled lists. There's all kinds of subscriptions, emails. Buy lists. Those are specific assets you might think about buying. And then products. You can buy Amazon listings. You can buy Amazon listings, and you can transfer Amazon listings, and you can transfer reviews with Amazon listings and FBA, all of that kind of stuff. And I'll show you the letter from Amazon that shows you can do it. You could buy Etsy accounts, people that are selling on Etsy that have stores. other people who have stores, e-commerce landing pages, branded stores like on eBay, Google Shopping, eBay, I mentioned eBay, okay, good. So there's all these other places that exist that have products for sale, so if you want to sell any products. And then shows, trade shows, conferences, expos, radio shows, podcasts, summits, all of those things. Syndicated radio shows, Sirius radio shows, there's lots and lots and lots of those that already have tons of listeners or viewers. And so just asking yourself, who's got my customer? Who's got a lot of my customers? And let's buy those things, okay? So that gives you lots of categories. Last but not least, intellectual property, which I mentioned on the other page as well, so I won't bore you with it again. But what I'd like for you to do right now is you have this page, which is the granular specific assets page, and then you have the first page that's got the 6 categories of businesses on it. So I'd like for you to do a related targets brainstorm, and I'm going to ask you to get in groups of 4 again because I want you to ask the other people in the room, what are you missing?